Hello, welcome to the Honest Wargamer. I'm your host. Get down there, you fucking little knobbler. Fucking get down there, knobbler. Okay, hello, welcome to the Honest Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob.
Nobble.
And I'm joined by Mr. Nathan Prescott for today's show. Hello, Nathan.
Hello. Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great still. Well, yeah, I think so.
So, if you are watching this back as a listen to it as a podcast or watch this back on YouTube, we already started this show, but we were invaded by Gnoblars. They fucking turned the power off. They cut the power cable. We're having none of this. You can't have it. And they done us in. So, this is the reshoot of the show. Nathan, recap what we did in the first bit of the last show, which was the start of this show.
We said hello. And I don't know. We did a bit of whiffling and waffling. Brought up some stuff that was really useful information.
But there's no way anyone will ever get to hear it ever again.
No. And that's about it. Yeah, I reckon.
Well, yes. That was it. Correct. Yes. So we're going to fly straight in. That was the news. Nathan was describing the fact he'd been at an event this weekend and won Best Destruction, and I described how much I'm in love with making and creating Spawn.
But, yeah, that as well.
Yeah, that's what we did. However, the main point of today's show, if you have been lured in by the thumbnail or by the possible show title, as you can see below, is that ogres, Nathan, are broken.
Oh yeah, I've heard this rumor earlier this evening.
There's prophecy.
Yeah, oh that as well. Yes, and last weekend there was a prophecy, but I thought the rumor that I heard has expanded the prophecy. Expanded on the prophecy.
Thank you to Jay for Jackson for resubscribing. How did you hear? What's the prophecy you first heard about?
Dudes with cannons riding rhinoceroses.
And then how did
say what?
And then how did the prophecy expand?
Today on the internet webs, I saw people were gushing about little dudes with shit.
Gnoblars.
Yeah, them ones.
Yeah, it's all ogre, as they say.
Yeah, all ogre, all over.
What's good about restarting the show is we've lost all of the people in the chat who were here to try to disagree with us, and now it's just us in the chat who are here for the memes, which is all we really care about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
where did those guys go?
The other guys, wherever they go, normally, like
after
home.
The show's ended.
Yeah, after the show. I don't know where they go. Somewhere. Right, so yeah, everyone in the chat agrees with everything I'm saying, which is excellent. So, let me tell you about the Gnoblar menace. Right, let me tell you about everything that I've just recently witnessed. This is the show. Witness me and this. I've witnessed things. Seen such things.
You've seen horrors. Tell us of the horrors you've seen.
Well, what I'm gonna do is also we might also talk about Nathan's a tournament that he was at the weekend. He was at War on the Heartlands. We should also probably shout out Dom, who won Best Sports and went 5-0 this weekend, Nathan, with Gits.
Yeah.
Do you remember with Trox?
5-0. Yes, the Gits thing has been done. What's it called? Warfare.
At Warfare.
A tournament called Warfare. And also there was Declan was there with Squigs, and he went 4-1.
What?
Yeah. So there you go. There were two big Gits kick-in deck over there.
Wow. Okay, that's great for Gits over the weekend. So we've had a bit of a destruction. Yeah, Gits fixed. Correct. Hey, Scribbler in the chat. Nathan, everyone's saying Gits are fixed. How do you feel about
that? Yeah, that's it. They are fixed. If you can play like Dom and Declan, you can get big results.
There's been some questions in the chat as to how many Skitterstrand or Ragnaroks each player was running. I think at least 2.
Probably. Dom had one. It is in his list, I reckon, still, maybe. Don't know. He's been using one recently, so probably. I did see a list at War in the Heartlands that had 3.
3 Skitterstrand or Ragnaroks?
Yeah. and loads of spider riders. It was all spiders, and then he also had the shaman with the shrine on, and they were one coolest army.
They won coolest
because
army.
It was so cool. Every single spider rider had a Blood Bowl goblin on. Like there were none of the original goblins. They were all Blood Bowl goblins
Every
with like
spider rider
guns
had
and
a Blood Bowl goblin on.
Yeah, and then the shrine on the Arachna rock with the shrine on was mental, and all the Skitterstrands were climbing out of portals. Yeah, it was proper good. I voted for that one, obviously.
That sounds great. That sounds fantastic. Just to catch everyone up in the chat, thanks Final Flash and Magic Thompson for resubscribing. Some people won't know that Destruction players, because if you're new to Age of Sigmar or you haven't really tuned in much, Age of Sigmar is actually, Age of Sigmar Destruction players specifically can't actually read. So when they do say things like big numbers like a 4, they're like, I saw 4 spider dudes, or so it's a lot. It's pretty overwhelming, Nathan, because you draw the pictures about, like, it's exciting, right? The other Destruction people.
It's loads, yeah.
Yeah, it's too much, maybe.
Yeah. It's data overload or whatever. It's like, yeah.
Well, you're about to get a data overload. Yeah. It's about to be overwhelming. Thanks, Phil Spriggers, in the chat. Yeah, that's how much. So let me can I tell you about the horrors I've seen? Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. You were about to describe us a terrible tale.
Well, I mean, it depends what you think. Because I would like you
wonderful tale.
Before we go any further with this, and much to the dismay of the YouTube thumb, I'm really for everything I'm about to describe. Yeah? I am pro everything I'm about to describe. And therefore, if you do happen to listen to this as a podcast, stay hydrated, or watch it back on YouTube, or be watching it on Twitch, I want you all to never talk about it again. Okay? We're going to talk about it this one time, and then we're just going to be like, this is fine. Because, Nathan, if you got to choose between the game kind of being like, okay, balanced or whatever, or have a destruction book be way too strong, what are you going for?
A destruction book is way too strong. Yeah.
That is the option. That's correct.
That is the option, yes.
Right, and I'm sure some other people are about to do math. I'm sure there's about to be a Reddit thread where they, a Reddit thread where they go through the minutiae of the points per wounds and all this other stuff. But guess what? That's not very fucking Gnoblar energy of you, and so I don't want any of that from you. Here is the tale.
Yeah.
The Ogor Mawtribes book released yesterday. Well, no, on Saturday, just before this recording. They also got all of their preview stuff out during the week. Okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we know the rules for the army. And the event, the small town throwdown, organised by the very Nuge himself and Gareth.
Cool.
We had, the small town. Small town throwdown. They allowed the Ogre book in play. I know what you're saying, Rob.
Wow.
Hey, Rob. Doesn't this go against the no FAQ, no play situation? And I think very interesting. Very interesting. Okay? I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anything there that needs clearing up in FAQ, apart from the Gnoblars.
The Nibbly Gnoblars, yeah.
The Nibbly Gnoblars, okay?
Oh, what's the spice with the Gnoblars?
Okay, well, let's talk about the Gnoblars, shall we? 20 Gnoblars, that's 20 wounds, is 100 points.
Yeah.
So the same as your stabbers, Nathan?
No. Well, stabbers are 140 now. They've gone down, and shooters are 120. So close, but no cigar. But then Gnoblars are the runtiest of the runts in the litter.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people, by the way, pointed out in the chat that I wasn't happy when Giants were the top of the pile and were a destruction book. I'd like you all to know that Giants are not a destruction book. They are an awful army for awful people. So just to clear that up, as always. Anyway, so they're 20 wounds, not Gnome's Bane, not the Timber guy. He's great. He can stay. So there are 100 points for 20 wounds. Okay? Chill.
Yeah.
Vibes. Right? They're not battle lines. You don't have to stress about that. Now they've got an ability, sneaky traps, sneaky little traps.
Yes.
Yeah, and so the first time you move within 6 inches of them
Yeah.
on a 4+, D3 mortal wounds.
Okay.
But the way it's
first
worded on their war scroll,
Yeah.
is any unit that moves within range on a 4+, D3 mortal wounds. Yeah. So already, if you string them out, you're going to be able to affect a lot of the opposing armies. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, great. But the next bit is that it hasn't been clarified as being a normal move. We used to have normal moves, but now and moves, right? So it's just clarified as a move. And there are Nathan, can you name all the sorts of move in the game? Chat, same question. With I want no cheating. Name all of the moves in Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
Go, Nathan.
A move to the side.
Correct.
And a move to the other side.
Also correct.
What moves are there? So, well, there's got to be like bowel movement. That's the only one I can think of offhand. No, okay, I reckon there are hero phase moves. So maybe things like mighty destroyers.
That's just a move. That's a normal move in the hero phase.
Yep. Then you get into the movement phase. So there's moving.
So that's
running,
normal move.
Retreating.
So interestingly, a run move is a run move, and then a retreat move is a retreat move.
Yeah. Different moves for different grooves. Yeah. And then I don't think there's any other, maybe nothing else in the movement phase, but then we get into the shooting phase. So there's a few things that move in the shooting phase, like them kangaroo fellas. Do they still move? They used to.
Not anymore, I'm afraid.
No? Okay then. Sod those guys then. The foxes still do though, don't they?
Don't think so. But hunters do for ogres.
Hunters do for ogres. Oh yes. I thought the foxes still did. The flying foxes.
I think they might. I don't know. But anyway, you know what I mean.
And then don't some of the living cities things do a move?
They do. It's still a normal move, though. All of those, even though what you're describing is happening in other phases, like in the hero phase or in the end of the shooting phase, they're actually still considered to be normal moves because they define it, right? So, for example, if a rule says, hey, you can make a run move, that means you can make a normal move plus a run. Therefore, that's a run move.
What about going back a phase? Because I left one out. What about a redeploy move?
So a redeploy isn't a move. A redeploy is a you move a distance, but it isn't a move.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay then. So going back to the shooting phase. So there's a few things that move in there. And then after shooting comes charging. So obviously charge move.
Charge move. So we got normal move and charge move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hero phase, normal move, charge move, shooting move phase, but that's normal move. Then, so after you finish charging, then you pile in. Is that a move?
Pile in is a pile-in move.
Okay.
Okay.
Then you do battle shock, and that's not really a move. Running away.
That's also not a move.
Because it might be a move, but you don't actually ever finish on the board. You finish off the board, so
you remove.
Yeah, you move very far from the board, or just off the board.
You groove around that time, but I'm not sure. But the definite moves that we definitely do is normal move, which can be replaced with either a retreat or a run move. Okay.
Yeah.
But those are all moves.
Yeah.
Charge move or pile-in move.
Yeah.
Yeah, a retreat is a move. It's a great question. Okay, rally moves models off the table and back on the table. That's true, but that is not a move. That I know. This is going to be this. Yeah.
No, that's more mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
Yes.
It's one of your dudes in your unit bending down and bringing his comrade back to life
with some kisses.
With a bit of CPR, kisses, The kiss of life.
69. A cuddle.
It's very, yeah.
Any of those
It's
things.
very touching when a squig brings back another squig to life.
Yeah. So, like, am I to think that there's like half a unit of squigs just like having a nap, and then like the other guy's like, "Oi, wake up, rally,
Oi.
4+."
CPR. That's all it is. A little shot of adrenaline into the heart.
Okay, so hold on. We just have to have some clarity thanks to Dom in the chat. Not only did he go 5 over the Trogs this weekend and also win Best Sports, he's also checking some rules up in the chat. So redeploy is also
He's read
a move.
the rules.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Redeploy's a move.
Redeploy's a move. Okay, so let's put all of this jam sandwich of information together, because that analogy also, let's put that in there, because that wasn't a good one. So Gnoblars are 100 points.
Really are.
For not even ladders, right? So
no.
So
although they get the closest, to be fair, but
ladders get the closest to be analogies until you climb over them, I think, is the analogy.
Good analogies, yeah.
So, chat, please stop asking the Gnoblars to take the stream offline. We're getting to the point, right? They're 20 wounds for 100 points. And if you get within 6 inches of any of those aforementioned moves, 4+, you take D3 mortal wounds. But it's every unit. So if you string out a line of Gnoblars, you can potentially, if you wish, get a bunch of mortal wounds into your opponent's army.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. That is broken.
Oh. Okay.
Because think about it. There's a command trait in the Ogre book that you can give to a Gutbuster, called the Rabble Rouser, for a bloody rabble,
Yeah.
And Gnoblar units wholly within 18 inches don't take battle shot tests, so you have to kill 20 Gnoblars on a 6-up save, and then and you're gonna take mortal wounds. So just think about it this way. Thank you to Pointy-Eared Bow Twanger. Think about it this way. I have a lovely, let's pick a Mega Boss and War Crusher, Nath.
Yeah.
And then I know, poor fella.
Yeah.
So then I make a Fasten move.
Yeah.
D3 mortal wounds. Yeah, because I've got within 6 inches. Then I make a move. Then I've got within 6 inches, D3 mortal wounds, on 4-ups, of course. Then I charge it, D3 mortal wounds. Then I pile in an attack, D3 mortal wounds. So it's potential that Gnoblar unit to the Mega Boss and War Crusher has done 12 mortal wounds, and you haven't even attacked me yet. And then when you kill me, you've just killed Gnoblars. That's it.
Yeah, 100 points. Yeah, that's true.
100 points.
100 points.
And the reason I use the Iron Jaws example is because last night on the T-Sports Network, we saw a game. So we saw this man. I'm just going to show you a picture. This is Mr. Tom Guan. This is Tom celebrating his victory at the Small Town Throwdown. Here he is in what is considered to be a quiet moment of reflection, where he is updating his Discord profile and just messaging lots of people about how many mortal wounds he did with his Gnoblars.
Oh, yeah. Was he wearing a crown? I can't see the picture.
He's not wearing a crown. He's actually wearing a cowboy hat that says Small Town Throwdown. He's actually now the Hoedown champion. It's about the same.
He's the Hoedown. Yeah. Cool.
So so he's the Hoedown champione. So shout out to Tom there. As you can see, Tarkonex, thanks for resubscribing. Love you loads. He's actually also technically using Hinge in this picture, but we won't talk about that too much. But this is Tom having used 2 units of Gnoblars.
Oh, he spent a whole 200 points.
200 points. And guess how many Gore Grunters those 2 units of Gnoblars killed in the opposing army in one battle round.
In one battle round? One? Maybe. Go on then, tell us the dirty deeds.
He killed 18 Gore Grunters in one battle round.
What? With 2 units of Gnoblars.
2 units of Gnoblars.
That's mad.
It's mad.
That is mad.
Yeah. 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 Now, a lot of people are going to be saying, what the fuck? Like, how does that
Yes,
even work?
I'm saying that.
Okay, right. Everyone's like, Rob, run the math for me. Okay, it's really simple. Let me take you through it and why the Gnoblars need an immediate nerf. Yeah? An immediate nerf from Games Workshop. If Games Workshop don't do it, I will be holding up a sign saying you must oppress the Gnoblars. They're rising up and they're causing issues. Okay, let me explain how it happened. Okay, what happened was, and you can watch this all live on the T Sports Network. It's on our YouTube, so you can go watch the video, yeah, and watch it in detail. Thanks to the team at the Small Town Throwdown for sending this to stream. Let me explain in detail what happened. 2 units of 6 Gore Grunters and 2 units of 3 Gore Grunters, in addition to a Mega Boss and Maw Crusher, alpha struck a Ogre army. Those 2 units, there were 2 units of 20 Gnoblars in the front ranks, dishing out mortal wounds as they charged in. They did mortal wound after mortal wound. And then, also, some Ironblasters shot a bit. And then at the end of that turn, there were no Gore Grunters left.
Wow.
What do you think of that? And what do you think Games Workshop should do about it?
Oh, I think they should maybe change the statue they've got outside the front of the thing from that Stormcast fella for a Gnoblar.
I agree.
A golden Gnoblar.
Like, it's just insane. That's all I can say. There was some. They did have a small amount of support, but I don't feel like it needs mentioning.
The Age of Gnoblar.
The Age of Gnoblar is here. Yeah. So, do you think I need to go into any of the detail of what else happened, or do you feel like you understand what happened enough now?
Fully covered everything. All the pertinent details have been laid before us.
Yeah.
In the cold light of day.
Everything you could possibly need to know has been relayed to you in cold hard detail. Yeah. I still don't understand it, but I'll find the video. So there was a small amount, almost not worth mentioning, but I'll mention it so I give you the whole picture.
What, infinitesimal? Is that a word?
That is a word. Yeah. Barely worth touching on, but I'll touch on it anyway. There were also 4 Ironblasters in the army. Now, Ironblasters are a war scroll which got an update in the new Ogor Battletome. Many people have spoken about it, and they're fine. They're not Gnoblars at the end of the day, which are S tier, obviously. Yeah, they're kind of like a B tier in the book. They're 170 points, and they've got like a shot, or 2 shots actually. You shoot at 30 inches, and it does D3 plus 3 damage at Ren 2, unless you take it in the Undergut sub-faction. Which makes it Ren 3. So 30 inches.
Nice.
2 shots. 4s and 3s. Ren 3, D3 plus 3 damage. Now, again, the general took the Rabble Rouser as a command trait. So we know the army was definitely mainly focused on supporting those 2 units of 20 Hobgrots. Sorry, not Hobgrots. How dare I? Gnoblars.
Nobody Gnoblars. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If that's what he was really commanding, then that's what he was commanding his army.
Precisely. Yeah. So that was the Butcher, who was the general. Now, when you get within 12 inches of the Ironblasters, they can elect to actually shoot like a scatter shot instead of like a big cannonball. So they fill it with something deadly. Probably Gnoblars. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Probably Gnoblars.
So any casualties that Ironblasters do within the 12 inches are actually down to the Gnoblars.
Precisely. Because the Gnoblars stop everyone in front of the Ironblasters. You see.
Yes, with their bodies.
With their bodies. And the traps and the tricks. So you can't get past them, okay?
No.
So then they have 10 shots that hit on a 3, wound on a 3, and are only rend 1. But if you want, they're damage 2. And if you want to be Ren 2, you can have them in the sub-faction to the Ren 2.
Yeah.
Which is kind of okay for 170 points. But if you want, you can take
170 points. Wow. Okay.
for 10 shots that are damage 2. Yeah?
Yeah.
But if you want, you can have 4 Iron Blasters because they're artillery. Mainly to support the Gnoblars.
Yeah. Just to give them some loud bangs, just to motivate them, really.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Exactly.
That's what they're there for. Like cheerleaders, but banging, exploding type of cheerleader.
Yeah, it's like when you're at the funeral, of a military person, and then they just fire guns, and you think that's what I want to think about at this moment.
Yeah.
Gunfire.
More guns. Yeah.
More guns. This is the perfect send off for me.
But in this case, they actually put the person inside the cannon and shoot them out at the enemy.
At the enemy.
Actually, Gnoblars shooting other Gnoblars out of cannons.
Exactly. So then what you kind of get is this kind of thing where you're doing roughly 40 shots. I say roughly. It's exactly 40 shots. That hit on 3s, wound on 3s, Ren 2, damage 2, which is pretty good. But it's not Gnoblar level. It's not Gnoblar energy. That's what I'm going to say.
No.
Okay.
No.
But after the Gnoblars did most of the work into the Gore Grunters,
yes,
these 4 Iron Blasters did some amazing stuff. For being incidental as part of the process.
Yeah. Just to try and keep up with them Gnoblars. They made an effort.
Yeah, they just cleaned up, exactly. And then we talk about the Frostlord and Stonehorn, who's also in this list, right? Which is great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now the Frostlord and Stonehorn...
everybody needs somebody to bring the oranges on at half time.
Right? That's literally his job, the support piece, right?
He's the orange fella. Water boy, orange dude with the tray of oranges.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a tray of oranges brought out at half time?
In my school, no. Someone chucked glass at us once, though.
Okay. Sort of like a frost thought. But yeah, we used to have dudes bring us oranges.
Oh, that's nice.
Like bits of oranges, yeah.
Yeah. Quick rub down from the physio. Exactly. That's what the Frostlord there. That's what he does. So the
Goes around
Frostlord
rubbing Gnoblars.
Yeah. So the Frostlord got a new heroic, a monstrous action. Frostlord and Stonehorn specifically, when he charges, and he gets to move an additional 3d6, which is pretty good. And so that Frostlord did a little bit of additional damage on top, but not really much, not Gnoblar.
So if he was fighting against Gnoblars, then he would take extra damage doing that, wouldn't he?
He would take probably 12 to 843 mortal wounds, roughly. But yeah.
But because he fights with them and not against them, he doesn't need to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of like Fight Another Day for the Gits command trait, roughly. Yeah. So that's the list that I saw perform round 5 yesterday. I saw it table an army in 1 turn. And and what I'm here to say is, Nathan, how do we deal with the Gnoblar menace? What would you do? What would you do?
Probably you need more Gnoblars in your list to deal with their Gnoblars.
That's true.
It's much like when people had incarnates and then you just take an incarnate to fight their incarnate, but now you've got to take Gnoblars to fight their Gnoblars.
This is going to be wild, Nathan, the thing I say next.
Yeah.
Some people don't have armies where you're allowed to ally in Gnoblars. I know that's going to blow your mind. But there are three whole Grand Alliances where you just can't even take Gnoblars.
Oh, that sort of sucks to be those guys, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Right? That does. Yeah, a good guy with a Gnoblar situation. This could be a good guy with a Gnoblar situation. So, Nathan, thinking about your gits, how do you feel that you would deal with this list? What are your thoughts?
These Gnoblars. I reckon if I had my list and there were some Gnoblars there, it would be pretty scary. So I would have to let the squigs eat all the Gnoblars, and then I would feel happier about it.
You'd feel happier about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then my squigs would be full of Gnoblars. It'd be good. Never mind the big elephant thing that's running around and the lads with the big guns. Sod them. But at least the squigs would eat Gnoblars.
Yeah, the squigs. What is the armor save on a squig?
Armor save?
Yeah.
Uh, they have a save. It's not really an armor save, though. It's more like a pity save.
Okay, what's their pity save?
It's a 6-up pity save.
Oh no. Well, the Gnoblars don't have rend, but the support Ironblasters would be rend too.
Oh yeah, that's
So-
right. Yeah, most of the time, if people shoot at me or try and hit me with something, I just ask how much damage it does. I don't roll saves. Although I did actually one time put all out defense on squigs, and then hardly any died. It was amazing.
Okay, let's move forward. What about you've got a loon boss? Yeah, what kind of
Oh,
armor
yeah.
save that bad boy rocking?
What? Just one on foot?
Just one on foot, mate.
Yeah, 5-up armor save.
Okay.
He's got a helmet and maybe a pot.
Okay. Right. So my question is if one like support Iron Blaster was to shoot him at range, it does D3 plus 3 damage. How likely with 2 shots? How likely do you think I would be to kill one?
It's quite hard to hit a grot with a pot on his head, though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because you don't know if you're shooting at a grot or just a pot, and you'd be like, should I shoot that pot over there? Even though he's telling that pot sort of making noises. Maybe it's just a real bad stew. Maybe it's telling those other grots what to do. Would you waste a cannonball or 2 on it? I mean, if you did, it would probably kill. If there was something inside the pot, it might kill that thing.
Let's go for something more heavily armored.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about what can we what let's talk about
Like
a
a
loon boss on
massive
Mangler
spider.
Squig. No,
Oh,
a loon
them
boss
though.
on Mangler Squig.
They haven't got. Yeah.
What
They've got
armor
some-
save have they got?
Well, they got a 4-up save. Again, I don't know where the armor part of that comes in. The dude on the back's wearing a pot on his head, and the squigs haven't got any armor on.
So if I was to fire,
I mean, if you're going to try and dress up a squig, you're probably not going to survive that endeavor.
that's true. That's true.
So it's not
unless
really
unless you were a Gnoblar tailor, in which case I would believe you.
Yeah, maybe.
So if I were to fire 2 support Iron Blasters at you, that'd be 4 shots. Oh, I forgot
Yeah.
to mention about the gruesome trophy rack. What an idiot! There's a support piece, not really Gnoblar centered, around which it's an artifact, and
Yeah.
units within 12 inches of it
Mhm.
get +1 to hit against monsters and heroes. Right? It's probably
yeah.
So that means
dear.
the support Iron Blasters
Yeah.
would be doing one of them would be doing 2 shots, hitting at your Loon Boss or Mangler Squigs on 3s, wounding on 2s,
Oh, dear.
rend 3,
Yes.
damage 3 plus D3.
Okay, better work that damage out because I've got to put that down somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you reckon you'd survive a single support Iron Blaster shot? A Loon Boss or Mangler?
So 2d3. So 2 times 3 is 6 plus 2d3. So potentially 10-ish damage.
Yeah.
So you'd have 2 wounds left.
Perfect. What if I shot another one?
That would be unkind of you. You'd be dead.
He would be dead. Do you think?
And then all my models within 6 inches, or all my units within 6 inches of that guy, on a 4-up, they would take D3 mortal wounds as well.
What, for killing the squig?
Yeah, because he explodes and kills things around him. So if you kill him with a shooty thing and he's in the middle of my army, it hurts me.
Okay. Okay. So the main thing here to talk about is threat ranges, because it's not that big a deal. It isn't that big a deal, and you shouldn't be too stressed about it. The Ironblasters shoot 30 inches with that shot. So how likely is it, if you get given the turn, that you get at the Ironblasters in the first movement phase, not forgetting they're being protected by massive Gnoblars?
Yeah. If the Gnoblars weren't there, there's a possibility I could go that far, but it's not great. But yeah, the Gnoblars are in the way anyway, so it's academic, so as to say.
It's true. It's true. So I guess the question for me right now is, this is a question to the chat and anyone watching at home, how would you defeat this Gnoblar menace? I put an example list run by Mr. Tom Guan at the event this weekend that we did coverage of. And I'll quickly take you through it, the details of what's in the list. And I encourage you all to buy this army. I encourage you all to buy it a lot. I encourage you all to 3D print elements of it. I want this army to be the most popular army in the world. It's one butcher. Great model, Nathan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great selection of 3D prints to choose from.
Many, thank you for saying so.
Yeah.
And he's got the reluctant rabble-rouser command trait, meaning that no Gnoblars shall flee while within range.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then he's got the artifact, the gruesome trophy rack, which is the +1 to hit against heroes when you're in range of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, or monsters, heroes or monsters.
Yeah.
Then he's also a wizard. I fucking forgot he's a wizard. And he's got the Blubber Grub Stench spell. This is Rhinox units, which Gnoblars are not, but the support Ironblasters are, within 12 inches.
Yeah. Them rhinoceros cannon fellas, yeah.
They become monsters.
Ooh.
For the purposes of contesting objectives, but also for doing trampling charges. So if you were to charge those support Ironblasters, they would do mortal wounds on 4+.
Ah, so you roll number of dice of the charge and do the 4+ thing, eh?
Yeah, exactly. So imagine you had for some reason 4 of them around a caster who might be giving them all +1 to hit.
Yeah.
And then you cast that spell, and then you charged all of them. You would have
4 times your charge. Yeah.
Yeah? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So a lot of mortal wound impact hits is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Perfect. So that's the butcher. Then
Just
there's
to add to all the ones that the Gnoblars are doing.
The Gnoblars are doing the main damage, as discussed.
Yeah.
The Frostlord and Stonehorn has got the mount trait, the Rockmane Elder, which means that he's -1 to be wounded.
Ooh.
Exactly. So that means that he's got a 3-up armor save, 5-up ward, and -1 to be wounded. So very survivable. And he's obviously got the ability to do that new monstrous action, which is absolutely fine.
Run around.
4 Ironblasters, but mainly support pieces and narrative choices in the list.
Yeah.
170 points. Nathan, 170 points is so crazy cheap for just a fun model. It's one of the, I mean, how much? Let's talk about how much is an Elguz the Gargan as an example?
160, 165, something like that. So roughly the same.
So an Ironblast is only 5 points better.
Yeah.
A good example would be to think about the Alapexes from Idneth.
Oh, yes, them.
There's only 5 points difference between those and an Ironblaster. So it really goes to show that they're kind of they're basically Alapex power level.
Yeah,
Elguz the Gargan power level.
very similar to a squig gobbler level, actually. That's about 165, 70, somewhere there.
A squid gobbler's 170.
I think they're 165 or 170, somewhere in that ballpark, yeah.
About the same choice.
Yeah, it's
Basically.
about 5 points here or
5
there,
points,
yeah.
5 points here or there. Yeah, perfect. The and also don't forget the Ragnarok web flinger.
Oh, yeah.
So
They came down. What are they now? A couple 100 points?
yeah, a couple of 100 points, like 240, 220.
Yeah.
Perfect. So those are the Ironblasters. Like,
I mean, they're obviously loads better then, because they are significant points more.
well, the shot from a flinger on a Ragnarok.
Yeah. Also, they got the goblin bows.
Significantly better.
Yeah. Goblin bows as well.
Oh, and goblin bows, of course. I mean, we haven't even talked about some of like the power like cannon pieces available in the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's just like, I mean, what can we think of that's around that price point? I mean, the Mortek Crawler significantly better
230 points.
for the flinger. 230 points.
Yeah, I thought it was better. I didn't realize it was that much better. 50 points better.
50 points better. 50 points better is an Ragnarok with Web Flinger. Then he has 4 units, so just keep you updated. A Butcher, a Frostlord, 4 Ironblasters, narrative choice. Yeah. Think about the Ogre Artillery, the other Ogre Artillery, the Thunder Tusks. Also, we could think about that, yes. And then 3 units of 4 Lead Belchers. They're your battle line because your Butcher was the general. Yeah.
Yeah.
They also get +1 rend when you're in Underguts, and he is. Let me just check what subfaction he is. He's in Underguts, so he is +1 rend on all of this. Quite surprising, actually. I thought he might have gone for like Winterbite or something. And then, don't get upset. 2 units of 20 Gnoblars, and this whole list is in a double battle regiment.
Oh, a little 2-dropper, eh?
A little 2-dropper, eh? He's also 40 points down. So when you do want to use a Triumph, which I did see him use, which was at that point I thought mean, like he got the opportunity for a good chance for a Triumph. It's 40 points under 1960.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Triumph did he
Oh, hold
go
on.
for?
It's actually 4 drops. Thanks, chat. It's a 4-drop list. I apologies. Yeah.
4-dropper.
It's a 4-dropper.
Because are the support pieces artillery, are they?
Yes, they're artillery. The support Ironblasters are artillery. Yeah. So overall, I just want to know what everyone thinks. I think I've laid out what it does, and I think we've broken it down into like everything you might need to know about it. So just
definitely, and it sounded like a narrative list that you were reading through, and then you brought in 2 lots, 20 Gnoblars. And then you just knew that it was going to be tears, wailing, gnashing of teeth, all of that stuff, ashes, sackcloth, all of that.
So I just want everyone to know, I want to be super clear about this, that I'm going to print loads of Ironblasters. Like so many. I'm going to give Nathan 4, and James 4, and Adam Mumford 4, and fucking anyone I can find 4. And we're going to flood the world with Ironblasters. We're going to make them all over the place. Because, Nathan, we need to support those Gnoblars.
Yeah.
We need as many as
They're like cheerleaders for Gnoblars, they are.
They're like cheerleaders for Gnoblars. And I'm hoping they don't get touched in the FAQ to come. But I honestly don't know what they could do. I don't know what they could do in the FAQ to stop the support pieces. The Gnoblars, probably they're going to nerf them because they're too powerful. Yeah? And they're going to reduce the...
different types of moves that they can trap people with?
I think they're probably going to change it to just normal move.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably normal run and retreat moves. That's what I would do. I mean, that's enough.
Normal run and retreat moves. Yeah, that seems like enough for sneaky traps. So that'll probably get FAQ'd. And that's it. Anyway, so there we go. That's the main. That's the
meat and potatoes of the show.
Did we confirm that Aaron Newbomb lost round 2 yesterday with Grinning Blades against Ogres by being tabled in turn 2? I think the table watch yesterday said that. That's actually true. There are actually 4 Iron Blaster lists, Nathan, played at the Small Town Throwdown. They came in order at the event, first, second, and third. Of the 15 games that they played, they lost 2, one of which was a mirror.
Oh.
So
they really only lost 1.
You did it.
As a collective.
As a collective, they just lost the 1